According to Marx, history of the existing societies is the history of class struggle. Discuss the statement with suitable examples from contemporary times.
According to Marx, history of existing society is the history of class struggle. Either to existing society is the history of class struggle. Discuss the statement with suitable examples from contemporary times. अब discuss the statement कहता है history of either to existing society is history of class struggle. Discuss the statement. Statement को discuss करना है. Statement को discuss करना है with suitable examples from contemporary times. Examples from contemporary times, है ना? Okay. So first intro में क्या लिखेंगे अपन? Intro में what is class, right? And emergence of class struggle. What is class and emergence of class struggle? ना 5 बाद में आएगा. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट यहां पे ध्यान देना कि हिस्ट्री ऑफ आइदर टू एग्जिस्टिंग सोसाइटी इज हिस्ट्री ऑफ क्लास स्ट्रगल. ये हिस्ट्री की बात कर रहा है. हिस्ट्री ऑफ आइदर टू एग्जिस्टिंग सोसाइटी मतलब ऑल प्रिमिटिव सोसाइटीज टू टिल कैपिटलिस्ट आइदर टू एग्जिस्टिंग इज हिस्ट्री ऑफ क्लास स्ट्रगल, राइट? सो अपन जाएंगे इंट्रो में ही. What is class? 1 para, 2nd para, how class struggle emerged, and then stage wise in main body we will describe the struggle. है कैसे emerge हुआ? देखो सिंपल इंटरप्रिटेशन करोगे स्ट्रगल इमर्जेंस का. क्लास को डिफाइन कर दिया उसके बाद कि ह्यूमन फॉर सर्वाइवल एक्ट्स अपॉन नेचर अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स. द अर्लीस्ट ह्यूमन इन कोर्स ऑफ सर्वाइवल acted upon nature, worked, organized some production, work organization and production for survival, and then they developed social relation because human in association produce more efficiently than human in isolation, isn't it? In course of time, to improve the materialistic condition, some of the humans, yes, improved the means of production, right? With improvement in means of production and knowledge, labor power, surplus production started in society. That surplus was owned and controlled by those who produced. They claimed themselves to be the master and they made others slaves. बस यही context दे देना है ना, है ना? And thus there emerged, an egalitarian social relation between master and slaves characterized by antagonistic cooperation. Cooperation for survival but antagonism because inequality, right, between. And this continued cooperative antagonism, isn't it? Further, in every stage, don't go for elaborating the story. Just describe 2 things in every stage. फिर एंसेंट स्टेज में क्या हुआ? तो एंसेंट स्टेज में फर्दर अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स ह्यूमंस आर अनसैटिएटेड, अनसेटिस्फाइड. दे ऑलवेज स्ट्राइव टू इंप्रूव देयर मटेरियल कंडीशन एंड सो दे इंप्रूव देयर मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, इजंट इट? फोर्सेस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में इंप्रूवमेंट, मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में इंप्रूवमेंट, एंड देन conflict between existing relations of production and new force of production. Thesis, existing relations of production. Antithesis, new force of production. This conflict, led to conflict between have and have nots, master and slaves, and that led to synthesis, new mode of production. Synthesis, new mode of production. Isn't it? Right? I'm feeling cold. Should I switch off? Yes. Huh? Yes, no problem. Okay, so, getting a point. So existing relations of production thesis, new force of production, agriculture, right? In slave society itself, new force of production. Now conflict between thesis and antithesis, which manifested in form of conflict between master and slaves. Slaves started revolting to be free from the clutches of master and work in the agricultural field, and this led to change in mode of production, synthesis. So thesis, antithesis, synthesis, a struggle between classes because of change in forces of production, conflict between new force of production and existing relations of production, and that led to change in mode of production and change from ancient slave stage to feudal stage. Feudal stage. Then again feudal stage may innovations, because human beings are unsatisfied, dissatisfied being, more innovations for production, right? Trade, commerce provided a stimulus for more production. So innovations, setting up of factories, factory emerged a new force of production, conflict with existing ROP, ROP thesis, new FOP factory antithesis. That conflict manifested in conflict, in form of conflict between, the feudal lords and serf. Serf started, refuting, defying the authority of feudal lords and started moving to the industries, industrial areas, industrial urban areas. Agrarian movements started and thus led to change in mode of production, synthesis from feudal to right. So एक सेंस क्लियर आना चाहिए वहां पे रीडर को, थीसिस, एंटीथीसिस एंड सिंथेसिस, isn't it? In dialectics, struggle is there. स्ट्रगल का एक्सप्लेनेशन कैसे करना है? डायलेक्टिक्स में करना है, isn't it? Getting your point. क्लास स्ट्रगल पूछ रहा है ना कि हाउ क्लासेस आर इन स्ट्रगल. तो क्लासेस आर इन स्ट्रगल बिकॉज ऑफ डायलेक्टिक मेटेरियलिज्म. डायलेक्टिक मेटेरियलिज्म, isn't it? One material force had shaped one type of relation, new material force came in conflict with the existing relation, and then synthesis, right. So ये technicalities पे focus करोगे, writing stages in main body to explain hitherto existing society's history of class struggle. बहुत ज़्यादा elaboration मत करो, इग्नू का नोट्स का कहानी नहीं लिखो, है ना, क्योंकि उसका स्कोप नहीं होगा. केवल टेक्निकलिटी जो सोशियोलॉजिकल थियोरेटिकल कॉन्सेप्चुअल पॉइंट है, दैट शुड बी डिस्क्राइब्ड, राइट. एंड देन इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन कैप्लिस स्टेज अगेन हियर, like all the workers were free to work anywhere in the factory, but wherever they went they were exploited because of the mode of production, isn't it? The mode of production, capitalist mode of production, in which the force of production were owned and controlled by the capitalist, isn't it? And in capitalist mode of production, this struggle turned into revolutionary action. This struggle, according to Marx, will turn into revolutionary action. कैसे? तो यहाँ पे terms use करोगे. क्या terms? Alienation. ठीक है, alienation एक term. लेकिन more than alienation, pauperization. Workers are pauperized. वो concept लेकर आओगे. Then petty bourgeois, the intermediary class is proletariatization, right? In capitalist society we will trace the terms pauperization, proletariatization, then after proletariatization emergence of two homogeneous classes, right? Haves and have-nots. Petty bourgeois will become proletariat and they will provide leadership. Proletariat, isn't it? And then polarization of the classes. With this polarization, that struggle will turn into revolutionary action, isn't it? According to Karl Marx, isn't it? And then with the revolutionary action, society will move to socialist stage where there would be dictatorship of proletariat, correction of all historical mistakes, isn't it? जो भी exploitations and mistakes हैं, and then advance communism, where the struggle will cease to exist, isn't it? Now, ये तो बात हो गई उसके stages की. फिर suitable examples with contemporary times. Struggle, suitable example with contemporary times. So जो contemporary times का example पूछ रहा है ना, so when you are talking of stage, see feudal stage, So feudal stage में we have examples. French Revolution started in feudal stage, yes or no? Right? We have examples of Russian Revolution. We will give example of Russian Revolution, right? We have example of American War of Independence. We will give example. We will give example ki how changes in mode of production in India, changes in mode of production in India, right? Britishers introduced change in mode of production, agrarian mode of production, agricultural mode of production में land revenue system brought changes and transformation, and with that change and transformation there emerged new classes, right? New class, zamindar class, isn't it? Landholder class and tenants class and other money lender class, isn't it? Getting your point? And their exploitation by zamindars and money lenders mobilized the masses, isn't it? Against the Britishers, isn't it? And that led to changes and transformation. Over the period of time, collective conscience emerged against the Britishers, against the British rule, and that transformation in form of freedom and independence. So यहाँ पे अपन किसका लेकर आ जाएंगे? A.R. देसाई का point of view. Contemporary times में 2-3 examples we will give, right, to justify कि Marxian, the theory related to struggle, isn't it, is relevant. After independence of India too, we have seen continuous effort has been made for improvement in mode of production, opening up of public sector units, liberalization, privatization and globalization for expansion of public sector as well as multinational corporations, isn't it? Labor laws, liberalization, improvement in labor laws, minimum wage act, isn't it? Yeah, green revolution. Multiple changes have taken place over the period of time, isn't it? And those changes, those changes has led to polarization of the classes, isn't it? आज हम देख रहे हैं कि नहीं कि protest of tribals against the multinational corporations, yes or no? Displacement caused by public sector units was protested, yes or no? है ना? तो अपने को यही बताना है ना कि एक क्लास, the class which was exploited because of change in mode of production, that protest involved in protest and movements, isn't it? We have seen Africans protesting against the white Britons, French, isn't it? Yes or no? So as a references we will try to give to make this thesis of class struggle relevant कि either to existing society is history of class struggle. आज भी आप देखो तो dominant class वो क्या कहता है? Karl Marx, those who own and control forces of production, they control. Those who control base structure, they control superstructure, isn't it? Power and authority पे उसका याद है ना? थोड़ा forward linkage कर लोगे कि today in place of naked exercise of power, the have class, the dominant class, exercise power through state, bureaucracy, state bureaucracy, isn't it? जिसको अल्थुजर ने कहा repressive state apparatus and ideological state apparatus, democracy, equality, freedom, ideological state है. So इसके through exercise कर रहा है, and state capitalist exercising authority through the state, and we see protest and movements against the state, against state policies, against the state and state policies, and so state has taken corrective measures withdrawing the Farms Act, है ना? Corrective measures भी तो state ही लेता है ना, withdrawing the Farms Act, isn't it? So इस तरीके से अपन तो ये भी तो struggle ही था ना, farmers का struggle with the state, isn't it? इस struggle का मतलब ये नहीं है कि बस गोली मार देना, blood shed, ऐसा नहीं है. Getting your point? Struggle between two classes. Struggle कैसा होता है? Cooperative antagonism. Cooperate भी कर रहे हैं, but in antagonistic relation. Still demanding for MSP. आज भी farmers demand कर रहे हैं ना कि MSP दो. That is still continuing, isn't it? So ये line of thought रखना है आपने, है ना? Okay. मतलब यहाँ पे ये नहीं है कि सरकार की बुराई हो रही है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. We see a struggle between opposition political parties and parties in government. स्ट्रगल है ना, स्ट्रगल होता है ना ऑन द इशूज, डिबेट, डिस्कशन, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स, conflicting struggle, but cooperation also. When it comes to issues of national relevance, cooperation also, isn't it? So this is. Many changes have been introduced, you know, and many provisions taken by the modern democratic state, you know, right? For what? For more egalitarian society, isn't it? तो वो भी मार्क्स के relevance को ही prove करता है, isn't it? That is also reflects relevance of Karl Marx, right? Okay, so this is, since the topic is discussion, तो here you have to write last में क्या? Before conclusion you have to write criticism too, isn't it? In criticisms you will write, you know, point to point criticism, Max Weber का criticism of class pauperization, class proletariatization, class polarization, सबका एक पैराग्राफ में मैक्स वेबर. अदर पैराग्राफ, यू नो, डैरेंडॉफ कि एवरीवन इज स्ट्रगलिंग फॉर हिज ओन पोजीशन अंडर द सन. किसको मतलब है कि दूसरा क्या कर रहा है एंड ऑल. सो क्लास होमोजेनाइजेशन का कॉन्सेप्शन, यू नो, रिफ्यूटेड बाय मैक्स वेबर, इजंट इट? स्ट्रगल का कॉन्सेप्ट, सॉरी, रैल्फ डैरेंडॉफ. So you will refer to Max Weber, Ralph Dahrendorf, functionalist, isn't it? You will refer to, you know, neo-Marxist, C.W. Mills, neo-Marxist, C.W. Mills, etc. to criticize. But yes, despite criticism and despite having little empirical support, the heuristic value, heuristic impact of Marxian theory of class struggle is too high. राइट, ह्यूरिस्टिक इम्पैक्ट का मतलब ये हुआ कि मेनी अदर थिंकर्स बोरोइंग कॉन्सेप्चुअल एंड थियोरेटिकल स्ट्रैंड फ्रॉम मार्क्स हैव एनरिच्ड द डिसिप्लिन ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी, है ना? हाँ, उसमें लिख दीजिए पेपर 2 में से बोरो करके लास्ट में. इन इंडियन सोशियोलॉजी टू, A.R. Desai has borrowed the concepts and theoretical strands and has, you know, developed the Indian sociology, has enriched Indian sociology. लिख सकते हैं, है ना? तो contemporary, yes, contemporary means continuity में, not current. ना, contemporary, इसलिए consciously term use किया, contemporary, है ना? आज भी ठीक है, contemporary में current भी आ जाएगा. आज भी struggle between developing countries and developed countries. Developed countries have class and developing countries have not class. A struggle in in WTO, in UNSC, in General Assembly, UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, है ना? Struggle है ना? Right, for their own interest. Getting your point. So that struggle, class struggle, we can gaze at global level, you know. Right, and that is what is studied by world system theorist Immanuel Wallerstein. That's what is studied by dependency theorists, isn't it? So अभी तो आज ही के टाइम में, कंटेम्परेरी टाइम में स्टडी कर रहे हैं, उसका भी रेफरेंस दे सकते हैं, है ना? So this is okay.